speedo that they've ended up with. However, it all starts on their map pick here of DUST2 right now. A couple of tough losses for them, but no room for error here. They want that one map advantage in the grand final.
They certainly do, and of course, with it comes the merits of being in the ESL Pro League, so we know that there's a lot on the line if they are eventually to go all the way, but this is their first step towards that in that upper bracket final that we have. Extra Salt versus Team 1. We have the North American-based squad up against the Brazilian team, and, well, DUST2 is the first arena for battle, and we do see some a light buy come out from Extra Salt with that P250 smoke and flash.
Yeah, fair bit of utility for them to work with. This is something that I was missing last season in Premier in North America. A distinct lack of Brazilian representation this season. Definitely not left wanting in that regard with representatives like Payne and in this matchup, of course, Team 1. Smoke mid to B from outside of long doors thrown by OC as well as a flash, but it won't be a mid to B play. Team 1 set up quite defensively and would be well stacked, including that upper dark control to defend that, but it's actually going to be this push onto the A site.
PRT pushing up a dark as that mid to B smoke was thrown, so now they know it's a good wraparound into the A side over here. They're pushing forward, and Pacer as well as Mobs just picked off completely as Extra Salt flood onto the site pretty easily. And the utility players are falling one by one right now for the Brazilians. X&S, at the very least, able to trade out one with a nicely placed HE grenade, but unfortunately he's just by himself. Extra Salt just looking the good so far in the pistol round as OC. That stink to that range. It's pretty much a firing gallery at this stage, all across from Extra Salt. There you have it. Pistol round going on the T side. Not ideal for the CTs.
Certainly not, but that build-up was quite good. The mid to B smoke was great because you saw the player rotate from Team 1 almost instantaneously up towards the doors. They had 3 there. It was always going to be difficult for them. So as soon as they dropped into CT and just tried to split the defense, it was super effective. But now we have a buy coming through for both these teams. Of course, not surprised to see the scout on Team 1. Super effective on a map like DUST2, particularly if you can keep your opponents at range. But Extra Salt, not hesitating in taking control points like long.
I love that pistol strat as well, because the player that throws the mid to B utility ends up being that long lurk up. Not surprised to see the long control come out here for Extra Salt, whether it's an anti-force or anti-eco. Do just want to take those long-range angles, take that critical map control. It's a 1-4 setup here. JT out on an island, controlling the rotation through mid-doors, and he's going to get punished for it as well. That's a Galil that's going to hit the ground, and now Extra Salt got to go back to the drawing board a little bit. They do catch Maluk, peeking from elevator.
That's a Deagle still on site. Mobs, let's see what he can find with a Deagle. As it looks like the earlier tag out from Maluk, able to assist, but Mark is able to calibrate in time, but PRT just on point so far with the Deagle flicks as well. 2 kills from him this round, it's all down to OC. Rifle retrieved, but just absolutely clotheslined by X&S. That is a great Deagle round, and the tradition right now of seeing the Deagles and the Force Buy come out on top, it just continues.
Oh, these are just punches in the face for Extra Salt. They've done the hard work on the pistol, but then you come up against Deagles like that, and your dreams are just shattered one by one. They can't even get across the smoke at long.
The Deagle's just such a ludicrous weapon. None of those were headshots. It's just all body tags at that range. Just so effective.
Body punches.
Body punches. Punches to the gut. Anyway, Extra Salt going back to the drawing board. They're going to force up themselves, try to get back on top of this economic game. Maluk on the line from Car with that scout. Rotates off. Maybe at an inopportune time. There's pretty limited utility. He would pretty much have free pickings, but unfortunately won't be able to reap the rewards of that opportunity. Oh, maybe so.
We're strafing across. Exchanging fire at this stage. Maluk does have to concede that short control. Good flashes from Extra Salt to push him off the angle as Team 1 going to be setting up for the retake instead over here. So just making sure that long isn't going to be collapsed on. Making sure that Maluk can also punish maybe some over-aggressing Ts as they do decide to retake in from CT spawn.
Yeah, Maluk's actually taken some damage himself, but the retake is on here, so do have some kits. Marky caught, overextending himself now. So the CTs are just going to try and overwhelm Extra Salt as they pile onto the bomb site. Now Sonic, what can he produce here from the site? The flank is coming through, but it's going to be too little too late. They have him cordoned off. They do get the bomb plant though, so there is some money coming in that regard. However, Team 1 navigate that situation.
Get PRT
Eventually.
on that. I was getting worried for a second. Man with the kit does get on bomb, though. Already enjoying this game from T1. They are already kind of playing with a lot of energy. Getting in with those 4 spies. Unafraid to just go in together decisively. Sometimes you can kind of get caught up in that between the wanting to take mid control and retake from short with a couple of players, or splitting up too much and taking individualistic duels. I do like just a 2-dimensional approach, working together quite nicely, coming through CT as well as long when you go up against that weak fight. It works out very well for them. They avoid the snag of losing to the counter force. And now Team 1 will have an opportunity to build up that money. All important on DUST2. You want those double orbs and full util.
Roll out through mid this time around. Smoke into CT. Molotov as well. XNS thinking about pushing forward. But now the B site. Looks like JT going to be leading the charge. Might have found the timing as well. It's a pace up. PRT this time around. Can't really swing around to tunnels in time. And Fang's got the CT rotation locked down. Oh, this is not the round that we want to be dropping. But it's a great call coming out from Extra Salt. They utilize the pistols so well. They isolate that rotating member. And there's absolutely nothing that you can do as Team 1. They're just caught trying to get utility out.
They're just caught now also just trying to save their own weaponry. They do have some money in the bank, but it's not going to be enough to necessarily cover all those losses. But this is a match already that's setting itself up to just go blow for blow. And we saw that yesterday with some of the series that we covered. They were just going blow for blow. And this one's already got the pace like that. You can see teams like Extra Salt here are not afraid to invest in subsequent rounds either. So they, in this instance, last round, didn't necessarily have enough money to get themselves a decent buy, but they're getting in there with the Deagles. They're also making this work. That's unfortunate for Malbs, and he's also going to hand over another weapon.
Yeah, that is a massive swing. Barely any investment there from Extra Salt. They come away with 3 weapons. Handful of P250s and Deagles. I believe it was just like 1 smoke and a molly. There might have been 1 or 2 other grenades, but that's about it. Just a pretty simple strat. Puts Extra Salt in such a dominant position. Look at their money here. And it is the save going to come out from T1. Push straight up middle. Already being punished by Sonic. Well aware that that's a possibility. Just dotting their I's and crossing their T's.
Nice and defensive. However, JT, not taking any chances, has been forced out of upper dark. So some map control, at least for the CTs. However, it's going to be on XNS from that Carrigan spot to see what he could do. The Molotov.
Fang's just banged him out.
He's just been... It's a drive-by, quite literally.
Well, Molbs is still over here. Can definitely do some damage with the Deagle as he looks to engage. But Marky does manage to get that wide swing across with the AUG. So... yeah, a little bit of action over here, but unfortunately for Team 1, not being able to replicate the success from the previous round. Extra Salt this time also with the additional rifles. Definitely an assistance as PRT is still layering on the hurt at this stage.
It's going to be one of those games. You can already see the way that both of these teams are connecting the Deagle shots.
Yeah, super indicative of just the potential for this round, or these rounds, to just be turned. They can instantaneously change direction based on what on earth is going on with the hand cannon. So we know that there's an ever-present danger, and I don't know, the prospect of that excites me.
Of course. Orp for the CT side. Limited util though, and only the 1 kit, which is on Molbs. Man's over here on long, and he looks like he might be going down. Gonna get pressured. Gonna take the duel with Fangen. Unfortunately, pays the price for it. That's going to be a man advantage for Extra Salt, who will vacate long. They don't feel the need to fight for that. Instead, going to go back towards short, where Maluk lies in wait.
And this is where Team 1 are going to start to feel the hurt, because they don't have a lot of utility here, so they need to hit those shots. Great work from Maluk to get 1 and get away.
PRT as well, pushing up. Maluk gets away just in the nick of time. Flashbang from Pacer as well, just maybe to try to set the CTs up for success on this retake. But Marky should be able to spot out PRT. PRT, though, just so fast on the flicks. That said, though, A-Site's going to be lost. PRT, a 1-man army at the stage for Team 1, looking just to demolish all of Extra Salt in this retake. Now it's all down to JT. 1-on-1, trying to find the angle. PRT just does it all himself.
That is such sharp work with the M4A4. just so precise. This man is clearly feeling on top of his mechanics. It's a good day in the office for PRT.
Much needed round as well for Team 1. That was a round that, I mean, they looked lost. They had control of the site. Team 1 had absolutely no utility as well. They'd used it all just trying to defend the site. So it had to be something like that. Some magic produced from PRT, get them back in this, and it's exactly what happened.
Unfortunately, though, to play devil's advocate, Extra Salt, after winning that round with a bare minimum investment, means that they still have plenty of cash. They're going to reinvest, whereas Team 1, congratulations, you won a round with one player surviving, but you are very broke, and you are looking at potentially an even worse buy than last round. OC, you want another AWP? Here you go, buddy.
Either way, we're going to get back into the action here as we see, and Pilski has set the scenario quite brilliantly with fast action out long, so this could be, I know it has been nullified, so they actually opt to back off. This is just aggressive coming out from Extra Salt, but they do run into the AWP of Maluk, so this is doing some damage. They've upped the ante after the pause, and well, Sonic is good for 2, so that actually opens up the A bomb site. They will have control of that, but Fang is going to be the thorn inside.
No way you expect Fang over here, and he's waiting because he knows there's 2 in the B site. Perfect backstab. Patience as well coming out from Fang. Now it's all down to Molbs. Trying to come in from short. Might be able to beat the Molotov timing. Might try to catch the T's off guard over here, but with the MP9, he takes down the high HP member in OC. Sonic has the AWP, but he's low. Molb's still trying to find this angle at this stage, and now looks like he's pretty cognizant as well of the flank. He's put the molly. Fang needs to commit through it. There's a flashbang. Molbs is going to stick it at this stage, realizes that he's got time to do so. What a clutch coming out from Molbs. He goes down, but he gets the defuse, and that's what's important.
It's the same scenario again, though. It's crazy how close that round came and how crazy it was. Maluk starts it with a double opener. One towards mid to B, and then the raw adjustment straight up towards short. Thought he was going to go for the double, but that's where Sonic comes in, takes his own double. And we're back to a similar situation where one player surviving is not good enough for Team 1. They need to build up some money. Because again, similar to that last round, they dropped this round here, and they're going to be in a tough situation. Not that staggering pace this time around from Extra Salt, though, that you did see through mid to B and short.
That's one way to come back from a pause. A lengthy pause too is just to up the ante, and I do feel as though it did catch them off guard. It was just some great work from Maluk that stemmed that. However, now things have slowed down. They've really started to break things down. They still only have an MP9 in hand too, so it's going to make ranged duels quite difficult. But Extra Salt, recognizing that, are taking control of long. So they're going to post up OC there, see if he can get anything in the meantime, just leaving JT to try and work short. He's got his work cut out for him.
He's got the right timing, though, and the MP9 at close range just doesn't work out. Now Maluk's in a world of trouble at the stage. AWP on the corner. JT, sorry, not an AWP, it's actually just a scout. Still lands the headshot. But I think they have to concede this A site for now. They've got short control at the very least, and Extra Salt need to tighten up on these post plants. Can't allow another one to fall by the wayside. But it looks like Team 1 are just going to concede this. 3 rifles, just too valuable.
No kits. Would be very, very difficult to complete that retake. Very, very up-tempo game that we're seeing from both of these sides. Quite loose. You're seeing them both playing intuitively, allowing room for individual freedom. There's a lot of pushing, shuffling around, jostling for position. Good round for Extra Salt, though. Difficult one for Team 1 to recover from. I'm eager to see what their approach will be here, because you can see they're very much in that double eco territory. Yes, they do have those 3 guns. So my question is, you know, if you're at 1400, a lot of the time you'll see, the force up. You'll see the Deagle armors. So especially when you have the 3 rifles to work with, not surprised to see the Scout come out and maybe a Deagle for XNS, who I'm surprised isn't investing in more utility. There you go.
Still no kit though. So they're going to have to try and work this out before a post-plant scenario ensues. But one thing I do like from Extra Salt is the fact that when they decide to press go on something, they hit it with full force.
Yeah. An approach this time from Extra Salt. Some utility pressure, some presence over towards short, but you've got obviously the majority of the boys over there towards upper dark. PRT, the only one over towards that B side of the map, and he's only got that singular flashbang. XNS has a supportive flash, but that is not a guarantee that the man's even going to be able to go on the rotate through mid to B.
Lots of flashbangs at this stage, but only one committing out. Marky is going to be caught off timing, and the mid-split not working out either at this stage. Team 1 managing to make the save work, especially with the Deagles, and XNS wants to come play the game as well. That is such a clean round from Team 1.
It's exactly what they needed. This is where their economy gets kicked off. They've recovered 4 AKs as well on that CT side. Got the AWP. Extra Salt just speaks to their economy and the fact that they're able to get that half-buy win, or rather eco win earlier on. The fact that they're afforded another buy here is pretty lucrative.
Again, seems like their plans were stifled by that Molotov out long, so just waiting to see if there's any CT aggression off the back of that, but that's not to be the case as we can see. Fairly standard split though, 2-1-2, and it is working for Team 1 as well, so no reason to change that. But I do like the way that Team 1 have been just collapsing and taking duels together, but Sonic on point takes first. Malbs is gone, but Maluk still stands, and he's just going to back off into CT, Molotov off short, and potentially try and take another duel here, but this long push is just delayed slightly, so they've got the positioning that they need, and hopefully JT can get some magic here.
Nope, doesn't get anything. The crouch feed comes out from Pacer. It was the 1-4 setup there from Extra Salt. JT just trying to control those rotations, but unfortunately with his death, that's going to be short control in the favor of Team 1. Extra Salt trying to filtrate into the site now, putting utility pressure down to keep those CTs back on short so they can get themselves into a post plant, but the Molotov just delaying things further.
Can't really go for the open plan as well. The short pressure just might be a little bit too much at this point in time. So time is ticking away as the CTs do manage to get set up. The post plant isn't there just yet, and you can see that Pacer is just increasing the pace so far, but the trades are coming back and forth. That's a nice shot coming out from Pacer, who decides to clean things up as all of Team 1 are starting to step up. The individuals having their rounds, having their moments.
They're all looking so sharp, man.
Great work, though, to just delay that plant even further, and it just forced the fights. And Team 1, quite confident in those duels, and why not when you're hitting them like that? However, that smoke does miss its mark. Not consequential, though.
If there's
no
ever
scope.
a round where you want to miss a smoke, this one would be it. I mean, yeah, I like how they went together. They took initiative to take that mid-control again. We were talking about that earlier in the EU game, where 4v3 on the CT side does not necessarily mean you're in an advantageous situation. 4v4 definitely not, so got to try to make something happen. Here we go. Bit of a shooting gallery ensuing. Straight up catwalk here for Molbs.
Nade might be pretty good as well, but they decide to duck back away. Molbs just cleaning up house right now with the M4 dinked out. So Fang is looking to push forward, but it's going to be Maluk that steals things away. I don't think Team 1 will be too upset about not giving Molbs an anti-pistol ace, considering the money is not out of the woods just yet for the CT side.
Oh, it's pretty good, man, I would say.
Yeah, but then it's not Bill Gates good yet.
No. True.
No, they don't have that, stupid yacht money.
Stupid yacht. This is my stupid yacht.
These are when things get a little bit wild.
Got my normal yacht, and this is my stupid yacht. Well, that Molotov looking a bit stupid as well from Maluk. Unfortunately, it doesn't connect in towards the doors there, so Extra Salt. I'm sure they probably would have put it out with a smoke grenade anyway. In the meanwhile, you're seeing a different setup from Team 1. You're talking about the 2-1-2. This time, it's much more of a centralized setup, trying to punish any mid or catwalk aggression, which is something that was quite characteristic from Extra Assault a few rounds ago. This time around, though, focusing more on the long control. Only 2 smokes. That one flashbang, that was the only flash they had, and it was used perfectly to take out Maluk there.
Yeah, the smokes for the cross as well. Going to be amping up the pace, and Molbs, unfortunately, not really in the correct position right now. That spray through from XNS. That's perfect. 100 to 0's OC. Molbs as well over here at Ninja as Fang's going to go for the plant. But Molbs just making sure they can't really take the short control at this current point in time. The CT rotation is coming out from long. The bomb plant hasn't gone down just yet. So long in terms of the delay. Molbs, HE grenade won't be enough as Fang's healthy. And Molbs just heads down for now, waiting for the rest of his team.
OC had the bomb. He was taken out through the smoke. That just delayed things, and now the CTs are right here. And again, this is where slight utility advantage is going to come into play, as they do have utility remaining. However, the duels are just going to ensue, and there is X and S to thin the herd some more. And they do have to face here. It's just Sonic left in a 1 versus 1, and well, he's done enough for now, but he hasn't done enough to win the round. Unfortunately, Team 1 in the retake with a utility advantage didn't really need to utilise it because they were facing together. They were taking those duels, and Extra Salt were just traded out.
It's what you love about watching Brazilian teams when they're on form. They play with so much energy, so intuitively. Just all of the duels looking clean, the spacing looking on point. There's no hesitation, there's no second guessing themselves. They just go straight in, making the high percentage plays pretty naturally.
Not surprised to see Extra Salt taking that time out to just discuss things. See, their money's in that sort of territory where do they buy and what do they buy?
Yeah, maybe a halfie for this one.
I think a Pistol Force might be the option.
They're going to go for it.
Okay. Never mind.
I mean, that's...
Who cares what I think?
That's an interesting looking Pistol Force over there, mate. That's looking like it's got a rifle butt.
Well, the loss bonus is good for them, though.
Yeah. AKs are actually better than pistols as well.
You say that,
Fun fact.
but I don't know. After watching a bit of a couple of the Deagle rounds today.
Oh man, Maluk. That's the second time he's caught over towards Elevator there. And Extra Salt just going to put pedal to the metal straight after getting that pick. It's the same old story. Molb's going towards that wizard position. Sharp shooting from the man, but he's going to get punished.
XNS as well, though no smokes on the cross. You don't need an AWP if you make the AK work like that. Sonic on the lurk, and now might be the counter lurk into the counter lurk. But Team 1 just going to try to persist forward, just get rid of OC. They know Sonic was over there at B. Now he's just making so much noise at CT. As it's aerial maneuvers coming out from Pacer at this stage. Sonic's still going to try and break his crossfire, but PRT is having none of that.
They're so sharp. Every time Extra Salt sees a Brazilian player beacon them, they're just dead.
Tap, tap, dirt nap. That's what PRT is handing out left, right, and centre. So, I don't know. This started as a good half for Extra Salt. They had control of the CT economy, and it all just slipped through their fingers.
It's all off the back of that one swing round where they won with a whole bunch of guns alive. They won relatively cleanly. You also had a couple of rounds where a couple of individual players were dragging Team 1 kicking and screaming through difficult situations. Now the pistol half buy, forcing their way into B here, Kev.
Yeah, PRT just going to have to try to hold on to the site by himself, but the pistols are so close. He's doing pretty well so far. He's actually done so well. 3 kills in this round. Definitely makes it a lot more doable. He was by himself, mind you, on that B site. And very important that he at least gets a few. OC jumps off the bomb. Great flashbang, but he still managed to find the timing onto XNS. But no more connections from that point onwards, as Team 1 have just run away with the second half of the first half.
What's that router? What router are they using? I need to get me one of them.
The reroute has certainly paid dividends, but I mean, they ran straight into the Lion's Den there. They ran into PRT.
I don't know. I think everywhere's a Lion's Den at the moment. When all the Brazilians are out here looking to slay you with their rifles, I don't think anywhere's safe.
We're in the Savannah, boys. There we go. Marky testing the waters at long. They are infested. Opt to potentially look for a different course to be plotted. Seems like short or mid will be the choice from the boys. You got Maluk, who's actually over towards B this time around, so at least they're not going to be losing picks making their way through Catwalk.
Slow and steady is winning the race here for Extra Salt. They got themselves into key position. And they have control of short. However, they have no territory elsewhere. So, just looking to see if Team 1 are going to go on any expeditions of their own. But we haven't actually seen any overt CET aggression. So, we know that that's not going to pay dividends. It's just going to tick the timer down. And it's going to force Extra Salt into what looks to be a B split.
Yeah, pace is already boosted up in the critical position. However, if you do see the double smokes on mid doors, it's only going to be the single. One of them's just been used as a dribble smoke in there. Utility pressure applied to Maluk.
Oh, how does Pacer get away with that timing? It drops the bomb carrier as well. OC managed to get the trade at the right time. Marky as well, trying to find some impact right now, but 20
Bomb.
seconds left. The bomb's still down at mid at this meantime, and Moles, the spray transfer just looking so crisp at the moment. And that's the half. Team 1 just straight out 7 rounds in a row.
Be on the road to bringing this one home.
Wondering what's going on. You know, I was thinking the map stats. I'm thinking Team 1's picked DUST2. Getting a little worried for them. But same token, you're looking at Extra Salt. Only played 2 or 3 games of DUST2 in the last 2 months or so. So maybe lacking the reps in officials. Team 1 seem like they are pretty structured, pretty tight and on point. They're going to keep things simple. They take this long control. Looks like the wall of smokes across. JT looking to contest, looking at some taps, some hits before those smokes come up.
Blocks coming out on top, though. Look at how many gushes have already happened onto that A side as well. PRT now going to be pressing forward. I mean, adding insult to injury thanks to X and S. PRT gets the headshots, and both of the members on Extra Salt on that site, even though 4 CTs were there, just couldn't capitalize on the numbers advantage. Now all down to Marky. At least he's got the kit, but he's already just been duped out. He tries to come for a fight. He's not even given a single chance. PRT just slams them.
PRT is making his Glock look as good as his M4.
What router? What brand?
You'll have people asking for config, settings, and router now.
Chair
Chair
height.
height, desk height,
Riz.
Monitor height.
glasses. Which brand he's getting his glasses from?
What gaming glove?
Gaming glove.
Where he got the sick tats from as well.
Yeah. Who's your artist, bro? Get the buy up here.
Ah,
See ya.
that's a Khalil.
I know.
What?
He's on 777 scoreline. Lucky 7.
JT is doing some damage over here with a scout, so still going to be cautious over here for Team 1.
Yeah, a handful of scouts here for Extra Salt. Really trying to make those scoped weaponries work for him.
Peppering their opposition with scouts, would you say?
Freshly ground.
Does Sonic get checked here is the next question. Do you expect a CT to be close here? I mean, he's looked over there.
It's another tag.
Yeah. I mean,
And there's not another tag, unfortunately. But Mole's pretty sharp with their Galil.
it's great.
These guys make the Galil look like it's a good rifle.
It is.
It is, yeah. $1,800. Great investment. I mean, great number of tags coming in, but at some point you got to bag them as well, you know.
There it is.
And
There's a bag tag.
Bagging and tagging.
Yep. And the luggage was not lost this time.
That's a first.
They were fragging. First half, they were lagging. Second half, they've awakened the dragon.
Now Extra Salt sandbagging.
If we continue with this, it'd just be nagging.
It's time to stop. No more. No more.
It's just dragging, isn't it?
It's dragging on a little bit over here. 13-4 being the scoreline at the stage, and Team 1 doesn't feel that long ago. It was 3-3. We were talking about how it was a really tight contest, and then a couple of key rounds where Extra Salt can't hold on to that post plant. And from there, Team 1 has just steamrolled them.
They're just quick rounds, man. Every round is pretty much elapsed before 50 seconds is up. Very, very quick stuff. High octane action.
Trying to get those scouts to go to work, though. Trying to get aggressive through those doors, see if they can work a pick, but this is where Team 1 are going to look dangerous. Don't even need to see their opposition.
It's the standard ball banks coming out. Everything seems to be working for Team 1.
Yeah, I mean, even the trades on point as well. Just the coverage in terms of utility. Just making sure they're 100%ing the round.
You play against Brazilian teams when they're like feeling motivated, when they're feeling awake, confident, the energy's high. It's an absolute nightmare, mate.
It's a nightmare right now for Extra Salt. OC. Trying to get something happening. He does fine.
The timing. I mean, it hurt a little bit more in real life, but in Counter-Strike, just gives you a cardboard box noise and you know exactly where your enemy is at that stage. You just flick up.
Got Kumba stopped, mate.
Yeah.
I was going to say, look, if it happens to you in real life, if if a CT jumps down by about 1.5 meters with feet first, I don't think you're going to be standing and fighting.
Oh,
But OC doesn't need to see.
no, that's the second full-blind kill he's got this game.
That's
ballsy.
it's a great flashbang as well coming out from Maluk. Great timing. Trust in terms of keeping the up-tempo gameplay forward as Pacer just goes straight in Sahara Desert Peak and gets rewarded for it.
Much like my humour. Dry.
Right.
But luckily, we found an oasis for now. Team 1 just slowing down the action, just looking to see where Extra Salt are trying to go for the extra re-engagement. CT's no map control really to speak of at this point in time.
Yeah, there's 3 players out on an island. Potentially trying to find any of the terrorists looking for information. But Team 1 definitely hitting the brakes, anticipating some aggression out. Not being given any. Now going to go back for that catwalk control. And they've timed it well. Just through waiting around, they've prompted the rotation away from Sonic. Actually, Extra Salt just going to lead entirely towards mid to B, trying to cut a corner in this 3-on-4, and unfortunately it's the wrong call.
It's a great read, though. Just using that time, that space. I know that 3 CTs can't cover the whole map. Biding their time. They will get the bomb plant down. And, well, they have a decision to make here now, Extra Salt, and I think it's been made for them. They aren't too interested in going for this.
This is insane. I wouldn't have picked this, to be honest. Looking at the map stats, I really thought heading into Premier that Pain might have been the more dangerous of the 2 Brazilian teams. And with Extra Salt already putting them down in towards that lower bracket, I was thinking, Team 1, you got a good chance of making it into the final, giving yourself a 1-map advantage. But these guys have showed up. They are here to play. Scary, scary stuff here, Kev.
Love it as well. I mean, it's a case of, sure, people are fragging. It's normally you see 1 rifler step up, maybe 2, but all of Team 1 have had their rounds, had their multi-frag moments. It's like, you know, it's a good game when Maluk doesn't really need to frag. And it's just been a clinical shutdown. Good utility use across the board.
All of them are just playing at like peak performance right now.
PRT just comes to mind as well with that 4 frag round that just made the retake look so simple, so great with that M4, but PRT on point.
Fear. Straight through.
Ooh.
Still taking that duel, just wins it.
Awkward one. Dink goes in for JT. OC's going to find the pick in towards middle. Long control established for Team 1, but they've lost that lurk player in towards lower dark. And Maluk's not liable to replace him as the man's got the AWP. Team 1 just going to slow this round down. Maluk trying to punish anybody on the rotation over while the rest of Team 1 just hold on to that long control, try to work out if anybody's pushed through middle or anything like that. Will there be the rotation over? So Maluk's got one of the smokes, PRT's got the other. I was thinking they might throw cross smokes or something like that. Does seem like they're just going to split up to a side and try to find a pick on towards this A site. Maintain those rotations, maintain that pressure, and then try to sneak into the B bomb site set up for a post plant, because those B site post plants are scary to retake as a CT.
Super deep rotation from the T's as well. They went all the way back through spawn, and well, they're selling that fake here towards long. They haven't got onto the site yet, but well, that means the button needs to be pressed here at B. XNS is just going to lead the point and charge in, and well.
Lucky's got the steel caps on.
He's had a pedicure otherwise.
Still smoking a Molotov here for Team 1 to work with, but the problem is 2 and 4 Extra Salt going to be flooding in all at the same time. They've got plenty of utility use for this retake. Molotov, smoke, flashbang, more than enough. There's a molly to window. Smoke can put it out, but they decide to go for tunnels instead.
Utility starting to stream in now. They've got to go for this Extra Salt, and they are going to pour through those dogs. XNS still up at heat, and they're going to make it work. And it's now on Maluk, who has the AWP. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it work. He couldn't take this one. Extra Salt have an extra life in this match still. And it is 15-5. I was actually quite confident in Extra Salt there. They had the utility. That Molotov chewed up a bit of time on the retake, but they were patient in their approach, so...
Yeah. I just get so, like, it just replays in my mind how many times I've seen, like, Gambit, for example, do plays like that, where one player's just trying to sell some kind of a fake and they set up in a post plant on the other side of the map. Just full trust in their teammates to close things out.
Flashbangs now as well, straight out through long. X and S knows that there's probably one pit. OC as well over here at that long corner. Just trying to help out whatever they can. They do have lower dark control. Double molly, but OC still able to pick off one. They're swinging, but they're not clearing out pit, which means that OC as well as JT making this crossfire work for now. Unfortunately, the telegraph pole getting in the way of the AWP. Luke Dink down. Bomb not in his control. Should be another extra salt round. At least a late resurgence.
Yeah, look, they're looking good in some of these rounds. Even if they don't take this map, they're picking up little bits of momentum. They're drawing extra energy out of Team 1 to be exerted before they move on to their own pick of Ancients.
Double AWP setup as well, coming in for extra salt.
They have a pretty scary double AWP, this team. Sonic, remember he used to be a pretty flashy primary AWPer himself.
Used to run rings around his opposition.
Oh, terrible.
You can't use the same meme twice, or the same pun twice.
Listen, mate, you better cut those jokes out or I'm going to give you some knuckles.
Why am I hogging them all?
Oh, boy.
Oh, PRT just manages to pick off JT this time around, and now attention over here at long. OC though, as well as Fang, more than happy to respond accordingly.
Nice.
So just like that, it looked good for Team 1. Maybe to flood in, but OC is starting to find a couple of shots in right now. The rifle is getting into the game. And I mean, we did hear from Fang yesterday in terms of the interview that Extra Salt feel like they're notorious slow starters. So
yeah,
they're able to get a little bit more warmed up, able to get into this game. Sure, may not be able to take DUST2, still 8 rounds. It's going to be difficult. It just means you're putting yourself in a part in Ancient where at least you're not just outright losing aim deals.
That is true.
Another great start. Opening pick goes away with Extra Salt towards long. Sharp shot from Molbs though. Picks up OC, trying to AWP off Catwalk. Smoke on the Xbox. Oh, that's a cute one-way.
I need to take that. That's a pretty solid one, not going to lie. Or in this case, a little bit opaque, but...
I see what you did through. I see through what you did there, Kev. But
Molbs is running. Didn't let go of his movement keys.
He is moving.
It's like Disney on Ice, just non-stop action.
Well,
you say that, but now the brakes have been pumped. Everything's slowed down.
yeah,
Intermission.
Just let it go, alright? Jesus.
Why? We're frozen in this moment, aren't we?
Team 1, 3-on-3, but still need to potentially go somewhere into the unknown for now.
Yeah,
Need to do the next right thing.
And check out what Marky's doing. JT's got one counter flash for the man as well. That could be key.
Mark having to deal with the funky bunch. Towards this B-bomb site. Has position on platform. Can't find the lineup though. And now JT has got himself to CASA. This could be good. This is exactly what they needed here, but it's now down to a 1 versus 1. And Sonic, he's got to keep his team alive, so Maluk could win it here. Could take the series, not the case. And, well, Extra Salt are still chugging along.
Another close round. Not going to matter too much because Extra Salt have still got a decent amount of money. Counter flash as well as Marky just buying time makes a bit of difference there because JT can get across the car. Usually that second B rotator has a bit of a tough time getting into the site from time to time. There's a half buy from Team 1. Give themselves an outside shot at winning this round, while not sacrificing too much of their economy. It's a great comeback being attempted by Extra Salt. Very unlikely they'll make it happen, but every round they peg back sends a bit of a message heading onto Ancient.
It is going to be this B site execute eventually. There's smoke towards B doors, and there's the progression smoke out. Sonic, though, back a plant. Very hard to dig out. JT going to be almost overwhelmed, but he's got the assistance of Sonic as well. 2 apiece, and Pacer was just set up maybe to take out a couple of the lurk players over here. So just trying to do some damage with a techie. But unfortunately can't get the aerial maneuvers working this time around. So 5 on a trot now for Extra Salt.
This was a good shutdown.
Yeah, great little crossfire. Molotov filters them all into JT's crosshair. And Sonic's got him covered from back flat. Love to see it. Straight back on the double AWP.
Full belt of utility for Team 1 though, and of course some weaponry to boot. So this is a danger round for Extra Salt. They have struggled against Team 1 in these sorts of scenarios. And I mean, this is a key round here. That loss bonus is starting to rack up for Team 1 as well. So this is where it gets difficult for Extra Salt. They really need to continue to knuckle down on their opposition here, as we do see Sonic, who will just be posting up on mid with that AWP.
Yeah, got a nice little tag on Maluk. Team 1 safely starting to secure some short control. OC's up there on the line though. Oh, actually he's waiting with this HE nade. Where's Maluk at? He's on there on Cat. If this is the right timing, that might be perfect. Oh!
Fell away just at the right time.
Uses the flash as a cue.
2 steps to the right and he's done for. Look at this rotation over from Marky. He might just be able to make his way to Goose or somewhere like that just in time. Molotov goes in to buy him enough time to actually get into Goose, so this could be massive.
Flashbangs as well. Not going to cover off OC, who's over here at Goose. Marky more than happy to play a ramp, swing on the contact as soon as the T's have been spotted. Mobs, great little entry over there, but the Org from Marky doing work. PRT unfortunately just can't get the lurk working out once again. Maluk's been tagged down low, and PRT can't even make a move at this stage. Extra Salt might be making this happen. Whoa. 6 rounds now.
I'll tell you what, boys. Yeah, Team 1 definitely counting their blessings that they have map point here, because this is not looking like a close half.
No, it's actually what Team 1 did to Extra Salt in the later stages of their CT half. They really did start to clamp down on their opposition, and they're not even getting into the bomb sites at the moment. So there was a few close rounds there, but that was a complete shutout. So it's exactly what Extra Salt are starting to need in terms of confidence here, but this is aggressive. Sonic and Fang, they're going to try and combine and cover each other off. Fang not successful there, but Sonic's got to fight. He's got no chance. Oh, dear. He's gifted that one. But Marky's there to make sure that there was no follow-up either. So it's on X and S. And we've seen him work magic with an M4. He's not even going to try and contest this. He's going to get rid of that AWP.
Yeah. Chuck it out. Why not?
I mean, money's pretty built up for the CT side at this stage. Would have liked him to probably like him to take that AWP and give it a good crack at this stage. Not as if money is a huge concern right now for both parties.
Yeah, but they're getting their money for nothing. You can't give them their AWPs for free.
Might be time for another router change, I think. To be honest.
I mean, XNS might be able to find this pick if he does.
Flash from JT. Oh, he actually turns to it. We get taken out by OC anyway. And 11 rounds for Extra Salt. Hell of a comeback being put together. If they can push this into OT, not only will that be crushing for Team 1 here on DUST2, but I feel like in the context of this series, they felt like this was a relatively easy map to close out. You lose this map after the momentum that you started with, it would be very difficult to recover from. We're definitely not in that territory yet, though. Still plenty of opportunities for Team 1 to close this. They are on that T side. They're getting given plenty of money by Gaben from the loss bonus. So plenty of gun rounds to come.
Pacer just working through low at dark. This is pretty standard from Team 1. They've taken slow territory here. They usually work their way up into short, but this is also recognised by Extra Salt as well. They're not necessarily facing here. Fang's just going to back off. Try and maintain some sight control there. That was a decent nade actually. Pacer took a little bit of chip damage from that as well as Malbs, but...
Oh, another nade.
They're eating them up.
That's a nice little smoke grenade from JT as well, deliberately designed to counter maybe the late Xbox cross. And that's actually the bomb drop for now. They've tanked so much damage. Fang, though, burning on the site. That's not ideal, obviously, as a CT member, but he's still there. Still happy to stay and fight. This Team 1 just stuck at the moment, trying to figure out what they want to do.
Yeah, they're caught in this position here. But, I mean, they do like to execute out of short into this A-bomb site, so that's exactly what they're going to try and do here. Fang took some damage early on, but he's going to need to be the point-and-click man. But JT is cleaning up on the outers as well, so this is on Team 1 to just fight and make this happen. Fang's not even facing just yet. He waits for that flash to come through. Malbs is good for the trade, and now it's on Malbs again to try and make this bomb plant stick. PRT is covering, so you know you've got some good, safe hands there, but this is a dire situation here for Team 1. A lot of damage taken in the process as well. One grenade here could finish this.
Yeah, now the short pressure coming out as well. This AWP shot going to be very important coming out as well from Sonic. There it is. Marky is also cleaning up Morbs on the site. Just slowly crawling up through CT. So, Extra Salt just still stacking in the rounds at the stage. And that is now 8 in a row for them. It really has been the tale of two halves.
Starting to bleed out, really, for Team 1. This is where it starts to become a real burden on your mentality.
And this is the part, we haven't seen a tactical pause come out from them. Don't know if it's because of the case of when they had that router change. Is it the case of the pauses being used or whatnot? But
on control. Team 1 have got the spawn for it this time around. JT in position to contest. Backed up by OC. This was a pretty good duo on shutting down the bomb control. This time around, though, JT left all on his lonesome and will be traded out. A one-man advantage here for Team 1. Extra Salt going to have to dig deep to make this happen because, well, they really have no room for error.
They haven't got all their eggs in one basket, though. They at least have a pincer here coming through short, so they need to be careful. That Molotov's just going to buy them some time to get into position as they're going to get that boost going. And, well, it's been eliminated. Marky's just been clapped. And now it's going to spur things here as they take control of this bomb site. This is falling apart now for Extra Salt. They've done a good job to get themselves here, but I think it's just now going to be inevitable that Team 1 will take this map if it isn't for Sonic.
Bomb plant just going down at the stage, but they know exactly where he's coming from. 1 and 3 at this stage, trying to get that bang onto through the boxes onto Maluk. He does connect. He's still trying to find it. Has a reasonable suspicion. Look at this. No aggression coming out from the Team 1 members at this stage. Sonic dropping down to CT spawn. Still trying to find this pick at the moment, but Maluk has had enough of this game. Team 1 will finally close out DUST2, but it did go to nearly all the distance at the end of it. I'll be back to wrap things up very shortly, so don't go anywhere.